Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a hastily put together figure that I was inspired to make after watching the new season of Sonic Prime, which brought us a brand new Sonic robot called Chaos Sonic. This guy is really hard to Google because if you try to Google Chaos Sonic, you're going to get a bunch of images of, Chaos, the water deity. So yeah, you gotta make sure you put Prime in there, and even then you don't really get that many clean pictures of the guy because it's mostly fan blogs and stuff. It's not like they released an official gallery, at least nothing that I'm aware of. But yes, if you have Netflix or have found other means to see this show, then you probably fell in love with the guy, as it seems that he was fairly well received by the fandom. Because this isn't your typical Metal Sonic, because although there is some design inspiration, he clearly is his own bot. He has a wicked sense of humor and a lot more personality than we've ever really seen from most other Sonic robots. That is, except for one. Because if you're a Sonic fan of about my age, and you grew up reading the Archie Sonic comic, then this thing almost immediately resonated with you as this special appearance of Metal Sonic from issues 86 and 87 of the Archie comic book. Now, I guess a little bit of backstory is in order. I did cover this when I made a custom of Shard, but I guess it's worth repeating. After issue 25, when Metal Sonic was initially defeated, Dr. Robotnik did rebuild him with a sharp new look to take on Knuckles in the Knuckles Chaotix 48-page special. This is the issue where he used the Power Gem to grow into Titan Metal Sonic, also known as Metal Sonic Kai. But even then, he was still defeated when Knuckles used another Power Gem to match him. Now, apparently, this isn't where the story of this Metal Sonic ended, because despite being destroyed there, he survived and rebuilt himself, apparently independent of Dr. Robotnik or anybody else. This is where we got this particular version of Metal Sonic. Basically, the power shard that initially, the power gem that initially allowed him to turn into Metal Sonic, Titan Metal Sonic, he had a piece of it left, which was able to upgrade his systems enough that his artificial intelligence was given a huge boost. Essentially, he had way more of a personality and a sense of independence, even if he was still operating under his core programming. Now, this version of Metal Sonic had a sharp new look with his Mega Man-esque giant forearms and head that kind of reminds me of the Saturday Morning Sonic, since it's just 3 spikes sticking out of his head in a mohawk row. I kind of found that to be an interesting little homage. And it was a tight little design. I actually was kind of into this design for Metal Sonic, even if it's a bit out of the norm. Which is really saying something, because, you notice that Metal Sonic's design hasn't really deviated in the games. We get other Sonic robots, like Mecha Sonic and Silver Sonic, but, the design of Metal Sonic, whether he's classic, modern, or even the Boom incarnation, all look almost exactly the same, with the exception of some proportion issues. So yeah, it was up to the Archie comic book to really, vary up his look. Now, we all know what happened to him after this. They kind of did the whole homage to the OVA where he sacrificed himself to save Sonic and Tails from an erupting volcano. But then they chiseled his remains out and they used it to build Shard. But I've already talked about that. And we're stopping here because we're not making Shard. We're making this version of Metal Sonic, who I'm going to refer to as Issue 86 Metal for clarity's sake. So the first thing I did was ran to Tinkercad to make some original models of my own. First up is the head. The funny thing is, the central sphere, like, if you take a look at Metal Sonic's head and look at the back of his head, you can see the roundness that would be the ball his head is based around. And this ball is slightly bigger than that, but because of the different designs of how the spines are realized, this looks significantly smaller. I'll show you guys in a comparison picture at the end. And then I also made the feet and arms. Since this is Metal Sonic 86, he doesn't have a left hand. That was one thing that they kept when they turned him into Shard. He has the whole Mega Buster hand with the variable stuff that can come out of there. Anything from plasma cannons to grappling hooks. And, his right hand is very glove-like. It looks like a regular Sonic hand. In fact, it is a regular Sonic hand. I got the gloveless hand model from Corey and stuck it into a cone. More like a, not really a cone, what's that shape? The parabola. Yeah, stuck it into a parabola. Now, the Metal Sonic figure itself, this is the one that I got when I ordered the entire wave that had Cream and Infinite in it, so that means, like, with the Sonic figure there having been made into the last OC, and now this one being customized, that means all 4 of those figures have been used. 2 for my collection and, the other 2 for customs. So, I just learned that this figure actually can be dismantled completely, like the Amy Rose figure. You can even take the shoulders and hips out, which is a pretty useful feature. I didn't realize it could do that when I made the first, when I did the arm fix for my first Metal Sonic. So everything was just integration of new parts and a little bit of sculpting to smooth things over away. The arms had new shoulder pads added, and the new forearms were integrated onto Metal Sonic's forearms, once I removed his original hands, of course. The torso had the little jet intake sculpted over to be his new chest, and I also cut the back off the jet exhaust fan, because this version of Metal Sonic didn't have that. He just had like a round torso, so that was removed and sculpted over smooth. And before I put the legs back together, I just wanted to point out, if you look, one of the thigh pieces is shorter than the other, and the pin disc is attached at a different angle. I was wondering why Metal Sonic seemed to have a weird neutral stance, and this is the reason. Why is the leg actually shorter? I guess the different angle makes up for a difference. Like, I didn't really notice, but it looks weird. Like, I can never get this Metal Sonic figure to stand stock straight. I thought it was because he accidentally had 2 left legs or something, but no, it's this thing with the crooked pin disc. But whatever. Here is the completed 86 Metal Sonic with the giant Popeye arms and everything. You know what? I really have a soft spot for this design. I genuinely like it. It was kind of cool to see, like, Metal Sonic get, like, design changes, and, it was all, this is, like, a mid-step on his journey of character development as he becomes something more than just Dr. Eggman's mindless foot soldier, But yes, here is the promised comparison shot where I show my original unmodified, well, aside from the arm fix and a Quicksilver paint job Metal Sonic, compared to this version. And as you can see, like, despite the fact that their faces and eyes are the same size, his head looks so much smaller because it's just a ball with cones sticking out of it, instead of that swooped aerodynamic spine dome that the other Metal Sonic figure has. So that being said, I really hope that we'll eventually get an actual action figure of Prime's version of Chaos Sonic. Because, Sonic Prime is getting its own toy line, and why wouldn't they make Chaos Sonic for it? I wouldn't be surprised if he got his figure way before many other characters, because, well, I almost immediately fell in love with this guy. So this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.